Hey,
Hey, yourself.
how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah,
Good, good. I'll be good to have a chat
it
to you,
looks a bit
mate.
green there. I think my green screen was not right in the right
No,
position.
you're good now. You've got good colour.
Good. Instead of looking like the man from Mars, eh?
Mate, fantastic news on that win of yours.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, that's super cool. That's super cool. How did that? We'll go into this, but before
Hmm.
we jump into it, how did that feel to get that one across the line?
Well, it's a real confidence booster, to be perfectly honest. As you're aware, it's been a pretty rocky road for quite some time.
Hmm.
And well, it demonstrated a couple of things, I guess, that the system that you guys teach actually works if you do the work. And I'm starting to see results that the things that are supposed to happen are happening. I think the other thing, I guess, is just a confidence issue. So it's a matter of I think just different things that I've heard since I've joined in the group, like that 2-day expert intensive, and particularly was it Catherine Prosser and her,
Poirot?
yeah,
Yep.
Catherine anyway, who's got the individual clients paying her $1 million and so on, and she made some really pertinent points there about, because my approach up until now is, well, look, I've got to compete on price. So, I'm going to be charging what everybody else does or even a little bit less, in the belief that, somehow I'm going to stand out that way. And so, I've tried all that. I've made a few very sort of low ticket sales over the time. But I thought, well, stuff it. I've got nothing to lose here. So
Hmm.
again, confidence in my products, but I think, what I've learned in this really short time is literally how to set this up and basically how to ask the hard questions.
Yeah.
Things that I probably avoided doing in the past. I've never been really pushy, and I think I said in the one of the fast start calls. I wouldn't have done follow-up calls, for example, just in the
Yeah.
belief that, well, haven't heard back from them, so I guess that means they're not interested.
Hmm.
Well, I never actually found out. I
That's,
just assumed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, hey, I don't want you to talk anymore because you're dropping some bombs here. I want to
Mm.
let's get this in line with that, because it's just a candid conversation, right?
Yeah,
There's no
sure,
real
sure.
structure outside of the questions I'll ask you to kind of
Yeah,
lead you down the storyline.
yeah, sure.
Um, so, and yeah, everything you just said then was great. The major points, the major takeaways I want to get from you are the specifics of, effectively, so what were you doing, how long had you been doing it, then you started, and it's like, what happened then, like
Yeah,
what was the activity, what was your experience, and then when you made your sale, like what was the sale, how much did you make, like the fact that you hadn't done follow-up and it was a thing that you hadn't done before, right? It's just kind of like, how much money have I left on the table since then, and just
yeah,
those tiny little conversations. It's like, no, just call them. It's like, it was just that, and then the script to go with it. And you go, I just picked up the phone and made the call, and then I did
yeah.
it again and again. Like that's kind of the rhetoric we're kind of looking for here. So
Okay, yeah,
we'll kind of keep it to between sort of 5 and 10 minutes if we can.
yeah, that's fine.
So
Yeah.
we'll keep it as succinct as possible.
So if I wrap it on,
Um,
you just shut me up, all right?
yeah,
You can always edit it.
that's it. I'll be like,
No. That's
um, but it's a good way for you to be able to unpack and re-cement that piece there too, because I think your story prior to being here is just as important as the one that you're now starting to create for
yeah,
yourself.
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, let's jump into it.
All right.
Alrighty. Um, okay, cool. All right, guys, welcome to another jam session. You've got Max here, and we've got Anthony on the other side of the lens here. I'm really looking forward to this one. The reason being is because Anthony's got a really interesting story leading up to the point once he decided to come on board, and then what happened after. But it was everything that happened before that makes this one really special. So, Anthony, I'm going to throw it over to you, mate. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What is it that you do for people? What do you coach people in, teach them, train them, and all that sort of stuff?
Sure.
What does it look like?
Yeah, great to talk to you, Max. Okay, a bit about me. My corporate career was basically training and development. I got into sort of personal coaching and counselling, and career coaching and counselling in the late '90s, early 2000s. I've been online pretty much my first website, 2007, got hit by the Google bomb. So, I just gave it away. Came back to something called affiliate marketing in 2015. Cost a heck of a lot of money actually to engage in a coaching program. I invested about 30 grand, I suppose, to get access to the content. There's a lot of emphasis on doing paid advertising. So I spent a lot of money on Google. Again, probably around 30 grand. I never quite broke even. I made some sales, but it was just too costly, paid advertising. Anyway, long story short, about three to 4 years ago, I decided, well, look, I've got to basically put my own coaching brand out there. And I've been working progressively on that pretty much, I'd say, since about 2017. And I think what I've learned, I believe I've got most of the pieces of the puzzle. So, I've done all the things that you're supposed to do to generate leads and get clients. I'm happy to do webinars. I know how to construct a coaching program. I've got an email list. I know you're supposed to email the people regularly, blah, blah, blah. So I had all these pieces flying off in all sorts of directions. And basically the story is it amounted pretty much to squat. So, if you looked at my tax return for the last few years, there's not a lot of income to declare. In fact, I'd be telling you it would be less than 10 grand over the last couple of years. And I've worked pretty solid hours. I've tried this, I've tried that, and it's just all fallen over. And the big breakthrough for me, I did a 10-day challenge with Rana, and Rana basically taught about the model, your model, the model that you teach. Where you connect your message, and then you've got a sales process, and the integral pieces of that. And I had a massive aha moment. I immediately saw. And again, I was convinced I had all the pieces of the puzzle, but it was how I was applying it. And there was a massive, massive disconnect. Look, it was just obvious. Hey, I'm not going about this. I'm not going about this the right way in any sort of structured or consistent way to get leads. So I jumped into the Fast Start program. It's probably about 6 weeks ago now, and it took me probably a week and a half, 10 days to go through the initial modules and to do some initial rethinking and those sorts of things. But anyway, I started sending out connection requests, started getting the expected outcome where I was starting to do brainstorm calls, and ultimately I did a launch call just over a week ago, which resulted in a sale. Now, I've got to tell you, Max, a coach I was working with previously continued was saying, look, you've got to email your list. You need to be getting people on the phone and talking to them. And I understood that, but I didn't actually have a process or a way to conduct the conversation, how to guide the conversation, how to even lead a prospect to sale. So, look, the whole thing, to be perfectly honest, since I've engaged with you guys, it's work like clockwork. Yeah, there's work involved. I'm happy to do the work. But the missing thing for me was the result of that work. And, if you're looking at my confidence levels from, say, 6 weeks ago till now, they're way up there. And the other really significant thing, I have made a few sales in my coaching program, and I forgot to tell you what I do. I coach other coaches in how to actually set up an online group coaching program and launch it. So I've got a full end-to-end process which teaches that. And I've got various sort of models and modules. I've got a 10-week program. Anyway, I went on to this sales call, and I've sold that program that I sold this guy to for as little as $297, $300 basically, US dollars. And again, as a result of some content that I've seen within IFS, I had a massive rethink. I know my program is worth way more than that. So anyway, I did a launch call with this client, and I've sold that program for $2,000. It's the most I've ever made selling my own product. So, look, I've been walking on the air ever since, and it has made just like a massive difference, massive difference. And for me, the things that have made this click is I understand the strategy, and I understand what the pieces in the strategy are, and you're providing step-by-step instruction in how to do it all. I'll give you a couple of other things you may have asked, because I'm probably jumping ahead of the questions you're asking.
No, go for it. You're on a roll here. Let me just acknowledge that though. That's awesome. It's like when I can see someone go from that smaller amount to a larger amount, and you had all the bits. We just had to put them in the right order and then charge what you were worth. That's phenomenal. Like, congratulations, mate. And that's why we're here. That's why you're here. It's
exactly.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Go on. You're about to.
Just I guess some other things as a part of that process. So as we're working with clients, the script and what clients do or potential clients do doesn't always follow script. So I made some initial contact with a client. He said, yeah, look, I'm interested in the program. Why don't we book a time for a call? And the conversation fell away. So again, talking to you, getting some advice from you, I actually picked up the phone. I had a 15-second conversation with the guy. How about we had a brief discussion the other day. How about we book a time where I want to learn a little bit more about what you're doing? And he said, look, fine. And we set a date then and there. And then we did the brainstorm call, and I learned a lot more about what he needed. I was convinced I could help him, and I said so. And I said, right, we need to have another discussion. I'm sure you've got questions about how I can help, et cetera, et cetera. And he said, all right, look, I need to talk about this with my partner. I'll get back to you in a couple of days. Didn't hear from him. Same thing. So I rang him and said, look, just following through again, when can we have a chat about the program? And we did that. And then really, I guess, a third phone call where I was not able to get the decision because he still needed to talk to his partner. And so I followed up and I said, all right, well, we spoke. You said you're going to give me a decision. When can we do that? It's now a good time to talk. And he said, look, I'll let you know by the end of the week. And subsequently, he was true to his word. He booked the time and we closed the sale in a second call. All of those things. I mean, just the confidence to pick up the phone and make the phone call. In the past, if I had not heard from clients, I just would have assumed they're not interested. Yeah. And, we're talking here about, I don't know how many times that's happened, but, that represents buckets of money left on the table, all for the want of, how do you have the conversation? How do you lead the client to the next step? And these are all the pieces of the puzzle that have been provided as a result of the program. Like it's just been a massive exercise in clarification and instruction. It's been terrific. Yeah.
It's amazing how often that stuff is the catalyst for the change, but it's also the catalyst for you to stop and potentially give up. When I say you, I mean us out there in the world of business growth or trying to grow a business ourselves. Is that it's that bit. So what do I say? And if I don't know what to say, then I'm not going to pick up the phone. And it's actually the opposite to that. Even if you don't know what to say, it's still better off to pick up the phone and have that chat. But you discovered really quickly. And I think the beautiful thing is that I remember having that conversation with you. You did it almost immediately after we had that group call. Yeah. And then you posted into the group to then say, hey, listen, I did this thing. So then everyone else on the group call saw the outcome of the thing you did almost immediately, which was even better because it just brought the rest of the community in, right? Just from that one simple thing. Yes. And then on the Tuesday after, I think we then got the follow-up on the next group call. Exactly. Right. So it was like, even Neo's like, oh, this has been awesome. Right. And the other guys are going, it's been so good to watch do it. Like, and it was that communication, I think, that has really been the big advantage inside of what you've done too. It's not just going to do your thing. You've also communicated, hey, I did the thing. I did it simply. I just tried it. Yeah. It's not always like have a call, book a sales call, make a sale. It doesn't work like that. No, it doesn't. Just as well as I do. We don't buy like that all the time, but we need to have that next step if it doesn't go exactly how we like it, because people are people and they're going to make decisions accordingly. So tell me, after all of that, what would you say to someone thinking about coming in here and playing this game?
I think, look, if you're struggling for leads, if you are looking for know-how, if you're looking for group support, simply do not hesitate. I told you a little bit about my financial position, and I'm close. Well, I am retired. I'm living on superannuation funds. They're rapidly dwindling, and when the decision came to invest in the program, I was having a conversation with somebody else in the community just the other day about this. And I said to this guy, I said, if I'd have told you or someone had said to me 4 weeks before, to get into the Fast Start program, you're going to need to invest X dollars, I would have laughed at him. I said, there's no way humanly possible that I would do that. But based on what I saw in the 10-day challenge, I made the decision at the end of that challenge. Rana was saying, who's in, who's out, I'm in. And I got in. And so if anybody's in that boat, if you have an aha moment where you understand that there are some missing pieces of the puzzle and you want some sort of cohesive approach where all the pieces basically lock together to produce a result, the worst thing that you could do is not jump into this program. The best thing that you could do is to jump into this program.
Yeah.
Full stop, end of story. There's just so much value that I got in that, just in this 6 short weeks. Personal growth, professional growth is just exponential for me. I can't hardly wait to see how the rest of the story turns out, to be honest with you.
Oh, mate, I couldn't be more proud of you, because I remember the first call we had and seeing that, it's hard not to be invested in your client's success when they show up and they meet us 100%. We meet them 100% and we go and build and create a thing. But I've seen people come in here time and time again in that need position. And I think having that, which is, it's a challenging one. You have to be the right type of person to be able to play in that level of discomfort in your own life. It's not for everyone. I know that past for me, when I get into that need, I tend to capitulate a little bit. I need a good community around me to lift me up. Yeah. But I think that's been a testament to your tenacity and the fact you go, no, this is a thing that will work.
Yeah.
Not even an influencer project thing. This is just Anthony's going to make this thing work.
Yes. Yeah.
Now I've chosen the thing, I made the decision. So now I'm going to work that system until it's been everything's been squeezed out of it. So, mate, kudos to you. You've done an absolute ripper job, and we're only just getting started, mate. So when we increase your price to 4 and then 8, it's the next.
I'm already thinking about that, but I'm not going to get greedy. I want to make another couple of sales at that price point. And
you've got some results, and then we can leverage for sure. That's awesome, mate. I really do appreciate you spending time with us today, and thank you for sharing the story.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to you, Max, too. I've jumped on a number of your calls. We've had a couple of coaching sessions as well, and you and the others on the coaching panel are the oil that makes this work. So my deepest thanks to you and your contribution to
You're very welcome, mate. You make our job easy.
Thanks, Max. Appreciate it.
Good on you, Anthony.